Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. Back in January during the Power PC Challenge, I built up an A1047 that I've had for many years and was really enjoying it. It was surprising. I had a lot of fun tweaking it, upgrading it, tweaking it, refining what I was doing with it. And it dawned on me, I thought it would be a fun opportunity to make a video on this machine, how well it runs in 2026, what we can do, what we can't do, in relation to what I can do, how am I doing it. So yeah, I think that I thought it would be a fun video, and yeah, let's get into it. This particular Powermac G5 is an early 2005 A1047. It has two gigahertz CPUs, a maximum of 4 gigabytes of memory. It has the ATI Radeon 128 megabyte 9600 GPU. And unfortunately, again, it does only have 4 gigabytes of memory. It has the pads for all 8 slots, but it only has 4 of the slots, unfortunately. I did go ahead and upgrade this particular model to SSDs. It has 2 NATAC 120 gigabyte SSDs in Oracle sleds. The top drive is running Ubuntu 16.4, and the bottom drive is partitioned right down the middle, running Tiger 10.4.11, including the Shuriken upgrade, as well as Leopard 10.5.8 with the Sorbet Leopard upgrade using one, and that upgrade is the 1.5 revision. The Mac is still excellent, a little dusty on the inside, but that's par for the course with these bad boys. They really do move a lot of air through them. But yeah, great Mac. Have a lot of fun with it. So I thought the internet would be an appropriate place to start this video. Everybody uses it nowadays. And to use it, we need a browser. And historically, we've had excellent browsers like 10.4 and Aquafox. And they have done a fantastic job of giving us access on these older machines. However, they are based on an old, or at this point, a pretty old build of Firefox version 45. And that's where PowerFox steps in. Jasny over on the Mac Rumors forum, he's put this together. It is a modern UXP-based browser based off a Basilisk browser. If you're familiar with Basilisk, it's very common on the Intel side of Macintosh computers, something that I use on all my early Intel Macs. Works excellent there. Jasny has brought that to PowerPC, and it is a fantastic modern browser. Now, there are some areas of growth and refinement. Jasny is certainly aware of them, big one being an updated modern JIT compiler for bringing JavaScript up to speed and whatnot. But by and large, it is a fantastic browser. Currently, I have it here. Let me bring it up. I brought it up to the Tinker Different website. Typically in most of my videos, you'll see me benchmark and leverage Mac Rumors, but those bastards over there banned me for a week. So this is my other haunt, Tinker Different. These guys are great as well. And I say that lovingly, Mac Rumors guys. You guys have an excellent platform, albeit your moderation is a little wacko sometimes, and they take things a little too literally. Anyhow, let's keep this going. This browser is fantastic, works extremely well. One thing I would recommend with it is it currently has issues with JavaScript. Some websites don't work well. YouTube doesn't work well for me. Pandora doesn't work well for me. They freeze up, throw JavaScript errors. You can technically get them to work. I have streamed music from Pandora, and I have watched videos on YouTube, but in this browser. But currently, due to the old JavaScript, just doesn't work that well. So everyone's aware of it. I'm sure they'll be able to port over and bring a modern JIT to PowerFox, and you'll see all of this additional functionality beyond what it already is. Bring it to the table, and it'll be really awesome. Until that happens, Basilisk does offer a JavaScript disabler, a Java disabler. I would recommend that you install it. I have it right here. You can toggle it on and off when you need to. I generally keep it toggled off, but yeah, you can see that moving around on a forum, for example, very smooth, very easy. So yeah, the browser is really a fantastic option. It does work best on Powermac G5s or The, you know, beefier multiple CPU G4s typically, you know, where have I used it? I've used it on my Quicksilver, my dual 1 gigahertz Quicksilver, on my dual CPU mirror drive door, both of those running Leopard. It does work pretty well there also. But before that, you know, some of these older legacy Macs running, especially running Tiger, you're going to want to rely on 10.4 Fox, maybe the unofficial developers toolkit to compile and build 10.4 Fox for those machines, or Aquafox is a solid option still for those older machines. But you know, for these modern, not modern, but these old Powermac G5s, this modern browser PowerFox is looking very bright, bringing added features, usage to these machines. So it was really great to see. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move on to music. I did mention that Pandora technically does work on PowerFox if you enable JavaScript. It does throw many, it complains about JavaScript, throws some errors and whatnot, but you can ultimately get it to play and stream music. Now, with that being said, I say that loosely. The GUI does pretty much freeze up for me, makes it really difficult to, you know, to use, move forward to the, or you know, fast forward, rewind, change channels, that sort of thing, or stations rather. So technically it works, but it doesn't work well right now. I fully anticipate that functionality will smooth out and work well with modern JIT, when modern JIT comes to PowerFox. Now, up until that point, if you do have Mac ports on your machine, you can download Piano Bar, which is an awesome Pandora player. This is a Sorbet machine. Mac ports does not play well with Sorbet. You need a vanilla Leopard installation for Mac ports. So I don't have Piano Bar going here, but I do actually have Piano Bar running on a couple of my Linux Intel boxes, Intel Macs rather. And yeah, it's awesome. I have nothing but the best to say about it. So with this particular machine, what I'm doing is I'm using iTunes 10.6.3 and I'm streaming music from my NAS locally, from my NAS to iTunes. And I took the time to go to Amazon, pick up a 15-foot stereo 3.88 millimeter or 3.55 millimeter, one of those, you know, effectively a headphone plug, end that splits on the other end to RCA right left, and I have that connected into my stereo. So let me go ahead and bring that up here. Where do I have it? There it is. Okay, and we'll play a song. And yeah, you can see it works really well. I have a very large, I'm a music buff, so I have a large discography on my NAS, and I could just let this go for days, and it doesn't, you know, it just plays all my favorite music, and it is an excellent solution as well. Other things that I've done here, you know, that let's move on from music. I guess let me turn that off here. There we go. Now, YouTube, right? I mean, everybody's curious about YouTube. I fully anticipate YouTube working with PowerFox. In fact, some guys who are, you know, testing and compiling updates and whatnot on the Mac Rumors forums, they have reported to get playback that is on par with early Intel Core 2 Duo Macs, which is pretty impressive on an old Powermac G5. I haven't gotten there myself. There is a UXP PEP app that is also downloadable off of Mac Rumors. For those of you that know Z90 or 970 from Mac Rumors, who built and put together Sorbet Leopard, he offers up the UXPEP update for PowerFox. Purported, I haven't used it, but purported improvement in performance and smooths things out a bit. So you can always give that a shot. For myself, I disable Java on PowerFox, so YouTube doesn't work. You know, Pandora complains. A lot of modern websites will complain, frankly. But to combat that, I still use, I've talked about this for years, I still use 10.5 tube. Wicknix has made so many apps over the years for PowerPC machines. He created this one initially. I think version 1 was released in 2020, and this is version 5. Excellent, still works great to this day. I have it right here. I've never done full screen YouTube. I just don't like it. I like to have access to my desktop. So this is version 5. I have one of my old videos here. You can see it plays extremely well.
Your vintage Mac. In this case,
and there's no stuttering in the voice really. Anyhow, it works really well if you choose to use it. My recommendation, what I'm doing here is, again, it's version 5, and I'm running the iPad UA. Keeps things nice and tight and quick, and again, plays very, very well. Okay, so gaming on this machine, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that it's going to play modern games. I mean, we all know it's not, but it does play error correct games extremely well. Quake 2, Quake 3 Arena, Unreal Tournament. In fact, let's go ahead and pull up Quake 3. Let's just get a quick demo of that going here. I mean, it plays without issue here. So we'll just grab a single player. We'll just do a quick skirmish. Sure. Okay. Hey, guy. You can see, I mean, there's no creasing, stuttering. I've always thought Quake 3 Arena was a very beautiful game, considering how old it is. Plays really well. And yeah, I mean, it's just a heck of a lot of fun. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of that. But yeah, I mean, Quake 3 Arena plays like a dream. Quake 2 is great. Unreal Tournament plays excellent as well. So stick to any error correct game. StarCraft is another fun one on this machine. All of them work excellent, and I mean, they're so old at this point. I'm sure you can find them for free or find the actual CDs cheap on eBay. Really, really fantastic platform, I think, for playing vintage, first-person shooter and platformer games and whatnot. Okay, so, we talked about, let's see here, internet. Let's go ahead and talk about artificial intelligence. I mean, it's part of the conversation now. And, with these Powermac G5s, all these PowerPC Macs running, really old OS X, Tiger, Leopard, Snow Leopard, all the way back to PowerPC, or I'm sorry, 68K Macs. There's a company, a development company, software company called Manicore, and they released Legacy AI. And effectively, it's just a front end for ChatGPT. So that's a pretty basic usage of AI. I mean, heck, you can do effectively the same thing on Google, but bringing up Google in a browser on an old Mac is, I don't care what Mac it is, it's slower than this. So you can ask ChatGPT questions and it'll give you pretty darn good answers. Why is Mars red? Let's see, what does it say? Mars appears red because of its iron-rich soil and rocks. So it works excellent. Now, I mean, I'm not aware of any type of agentic AI option. Things like OpenClaw. I don't. First of all, I don't know if there's enough guts in a PowerPC Mac to run something like that. But maybe there will be in the future. But as of right now, I'm not aware of any agentic options. But maybe in the future. But as of right now, we do have Legacy AI. And Graystash is the guy. He's on Mac Rumors, and Manicore is his company, or he may work for it, but I think it's his company. And he's the one that put this out here. You can always give him some money. I paid $15 for mine because I use this app on, no joke, 10, 15 different Macs around the house. It's just excellent. It's a great app. I really enjoy it. It's like my own little protocol droid. Really, it's kind of cool. But it is free. He was nice enough to not require money at all. I mean, it's a completely free download. It doesn't bug you for it. And again, there's a wide span of machines from 68K all the way up through PowerPC and early Intel machines that can leverage legacy AI. So it's a really cool gift to the PowerPC community. Now, in relation to Discord, if you're in the RetroMac community, you know who DOS Dude is. He's done all kinds of neat processor swaps and all kinds of neat stuff. A very talented guy. He also put out Discord Lite. And it's just a Discord app. And it works extremely well. Sometimes on some machines, logging in can be a little weird. But for the most part, for me, it's worked. I've only experienced weirdness on one particular machine trying to log in, and that was actually on Tiger, not on Leopard. It works really well on Leopard for me. But I still was able to get it to work. So, I'm going to put that out there. DOS Dude does have the GitHub for this. You can download what you need to get on Discord. I have a bunch of my old gaming buddies from college days around turn of the century, and we still get together on Discord and talk about retro video games, old first-person shooters and whatnot, and get together for playing and what have you. And so this is a great solution there. Bill, what one of the biggest hiccups, truthfully, that I've had is trying to get stupid email to work. Email is a pain in the ass. I mean, it none of the clients work. Like, I can't get mail to work. I couldn't get, I was using a whole bunch of different, era, apps, old Thunderbird, just a whole bunch of them. And they, none of them worked for me. I really spent an inordinate amount of time trying to get email to work through a client, like an email client. Now, that can be solved if you're running vanilla Leopard, again, because you can run Mac ports, and then there are a number of options that you can compile for, like Clausmail, Sifeed. I know there's at least one other one, but there are options out there that you can leverage if you're running Mac ports. But again, this is a sorbet machine, so Mac ports is pretty much off the table. So the only solution that I've been able to come up with is to use the in-browser Gmail version. And if you're familiar, if you recall 10.4 Fox, there were Fox boxes and Interweb PowerPC. There was In the Box, where you can build standalone instances of the browser that points directly to the that web tool or website that you're using. That's effectively what I did here. I compiled 10.4 Fox for Powermac G5s, and I used it. I effectively pointed it to the Gmail web tool, and I have that right here. And it works. It does work. You can navigate around and click on emails and whatnot. It complains that it's an old browser, whatever. My big beef is that this was actually an excellent solution when Gmail still had HTML mail, but they killed that last year. Still salty about that Gmail. Like, what the heck? It was nostalgic when we had it. It was fast and snappy. It was awesome, and it was a great way to access your Gmail that you have. And I mean, for myself, I pretty much live out of my Gmail accounts, so it was a perfect solution for me. It still works. Like I said, it's just it's a lag fest now. It's laggy and slow comparatively, but it does work. I did want to point it out there. If you do have Gmail, and in a pinch you do need to get into your email, you can go to gmail.com, log in, blah, blah, blah. It'll bring up the web tools, and you can access your Gmail that way. And that's what I've been doing here. But overall, I've tried so many different email clients, and I haven't gotten any of them to work. I think theoretically you could go into your Gmail and have the Gmail application create a 16-digit password, which you then can use for IMAP and POP3 and all that good stuff to set up the client. I'm not willing to do that because I like the password I have, and I don't want to have some goofy wacko 16-digit password that I'll never remember and have to use that to access my Gmail and all my different devices. But if you really wanted to, I think you probably could do that. Again, I'm not willing to do that, so whatever. So that's how I'm accessing my email. All in all, it's been a pretty darn excellent experience. I'm really surprised, truthfully, especially with Powerfox. Has been pretty fantastic. Um, interestingly, with Sorbet, when part of that update was with Safari was to bring Safari up to, I think it's 11.4, and interestingly, YouTube still works really well on this browser. In fact, let's just bring up a tab and we'll go to YouTube, and it works really well. It brings up mobile YouTube, and you can stream videos without much fuss. Now, ultimately, that I'm sure that'll break too, and it'll be what it'll be. But by that point, I'm hoping we have modern JIT and a lot for Powerfox, and a lot of those issues worked out, and we'll be able to use in-browsing YouTube in browser on these more powerful PowerPC G5 Macs in Powerfox. But you can see, I mean, it did populate. You can watch videos. I'm not going to do it here, but it does work. Generally, for my needs, I use Safari just as a quick button to go straight to the Macintosh garden, and see what folks are up to over there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Just the nature of the age of these machines. There's a lot of productivity software that has been, there's no longer supported, deprecated, no longer sold, that you have access to. I own iWorks 8, which is what this is, as well as Microsoft Office that I've had forever. That works on this machine, but you can download this stuff. That's all available. Paintbrush, Pixelmator. I use Pixelmator to create a couple icons like my Gmail icon, and I updated this Sorbet App Store icon to a circle from its kind of weird wonky shape. I've got OmniGraffle on here, Toast Titanium, because these machines still do, it's convenient to have a machine that'll spit out DVDs and CDs if you need. I use BB Edit to open up and adjust files as need be to try to get them to work. There's just a lot of still a lot of great productivity software out there, oodles and oodles of it, in fact, for these old machines. So they're a heck of a lot of fun, and so I have a lot of usability and functionality within this machine that is 20 plus years old, with ancient Mac OS that is 20 plus years old. And just due to I think it speaks to the robustness of the hardware, the awesomeness of the hardware, the awesomeness of Mac OS, and most importantly, the ecosystem of retro enthusiasts that have continually stood up, refined, worked on, and updated software to make these machines usable year after year, long after Apple abandoned them. No fault to Apple, they're selling new machines, I get that, but yeah, it really speaks to the community, and it's so much fun. So if you're into retro computing, or you're thinking about getting into it, you can be a real sadist and go after some wonky beige 68K Mac. Sure, there's a fantastic community at Tinker Different. Those guys are so awesome over there. That's not really my interest. I would recommend that you get into one of these Powermac G5s. I think they are fantastic platforms to get your toes wet with retro Macintosh computing. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. This video is going to be kind of long, so I want to get it done. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.